Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee's 26th Annual Award Ceremony. On this occasion, the 2020 award ceremony is coming to you on our media and online platforms as we continue to navigate the unprecedented times and circumstances that have led to virtual events, physical distancing, and the wearing of masks. Our ceremony includes welcome remarks, a feature speaker, the presentation of the TTOC's 8 prestigious awards, and a special message from Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and Patron of the TTOC. We extend our welcome to our athletes and sporting organizations here in TNT, as well as everyone logged on to Zoom, Facebook, and Team TTO media platforms. Thank you for joining us. This has been a year like none other, virtually one for the history books. Let's take a look at the TTOC's Team TTO moments of 2020. To welcome you to the TTOC Annual Awards and to share his sentiments on the year 2020, as well as the year that is to come. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, Mr. Brian Lewis.
Thank you very much, Hans. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Who would have thought that when we gathered at the Hyatt on December the 29th, 2019, looking forward with eager anticipation to Tokyo 2020 and all the good things that we envisioned, the celebration, the performances of our athletes who make up Team TTO. We had so many big plans. And then came COVID-19, which entirely disrupted every single aspect of life, be it social, be it health, be it economic, be it financial. And we all had to pivot. The Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee had no other choice but to dig deep and display the attribute of resilience. Our athletes, our coaches, our corporate partners, all our stakeholders were looking to us for leadership. We could not have been intimidated or overawed by the significant challenges and obstacles and problems and issues that COVID-19 presented. We pivoted. We accelerated our digital transformation. We held every aspect, every event that we wanted to host, we hosted it digitally, virtual. Digital, virtual became the go-to word, the buzzword, in fact, at Olympic House. But more than that, as we examined and led by example, Finland has a word called sisu, S-I-S-U. It is used to describe the Finnish character. There is negative sisu and positive sisu. The reason why I focused on sisu is simple. It appeared to go beyond just mere resilience. It was not an easy year. But let me share this with you. What came out of the year 2020 was an opportunity for every single one of us to look in the mirror and examine ourselves. Where do we go from here? What we treasured most, what we valued most. Some of us rose to the occasion, others basically disappeared. And in that respect, we must acknowledge our athletes, our coaches, our administrators, our staff, our executive members, our corporate partners, everyone who stuck the grind, who refused to give up, who refused to allow circumstances to diminish our aspirations for 10 or more Olympic gold medals by the year 2024, for futures female, for the sports industry TT that is sustainable, the fact that the Commonwealth Youth Games had to be postponed, rescheduled, depending on who you speak with. What remained was a commitment, not only on the part of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, but the government of Trinidad and Tobago to host the Commonwealth Youth Games whenever it is rescheduled. Caribbean Games have been rescheduled. The Olympic Games have been rescheduled. It's now the 23rd of July to the 8th of August. The Paralympic Games have been rescheduled to August 24th, 2021 to September the 5th, 2021. We have to continue to be game changers. We cannot be intimidated. We must continue our collaboration efforts with all the stakeholders, be it the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, be it the Ministry of Education, the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago, each and every one of our national sport organizations, University of Trinidad and Tobago. What we must not deny is that we need to work much harder to improve sport governance here in Trinidad and Tobago. The fact that the leaders and the sports administrators continue, even in the face of COVID, to let our athletes and youth and young people down must not and ought not to give any one of us any measure of satisfaction. We need to do better. We must do better. And we must be committed to doing better in the year 2021. The Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee would have also stood up and be counted. Black Lives Matter. We must continue to work fearlessly to eradicate racism, racial discrimination, and racial inequalities in whatever form, whether it be on the basis of race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation. Regardless, there is no place for discrimination in any form in the world of sport. The Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee takes this opportunity to thank everyone for remaining committed. We look forward to your ongoing commitment in the year 2021. It would be remiss of me if at this juncture I didn't acknowledge the contribution of our frontline warriors, those who provided essential and continue to provide essential services, our medical fraternity here in Trinidad and Tobago, who put their lives on the line every day for us to survive and eventually thrive past COVID-19. I urge the members of the sport community to do their part. Let us assume and accept personal responsibility. Wear your mask, social distance, and sanitize. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the fact that we have made a decision to have the annual awards, the 26th annual awards, virtually is a commitment to the effort and work of our athletes who have refused to give up on their dream and continued COVID-19 or no COVID-19 to train, to work, and to dream big. Thank you very much, and I wish all of you a safe and healthy 2021.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brian Lewis, President of the TTOC. And now it's time for the first group of awards for 2020.
The Junior Sportswoman and Sportsman Awards are presented for outstanding achievement in competition during the year by an individual under the age of 20 years. The nominees excelled or were the outstanding performers in an Olympic discipline.
We begin with the Junior Sportswoman of the Year Award. And here is TTOC Vice President Diane Henderson to present this award.
The 2020 Junior Sportswoman of the Year is Abigail Vieira, skiing.
Thank you so much to Trinidad and Tobago and TTOC for this award. I'm currently on a gap year for my studies, so I can't be with you right now, but it's been such an honor to represent Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you so much for making last season one of the most memorable.
Congratulations to Abigail Vieira. And now for the Junior Sportsman of the Year Award. Once again, here is Diane Henderson, TTOC Vice President, to present this award.
The 2020 Junior Sportsman of the Year is Nikolai Blackman, swimming.
Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, Team TTU. This award means a lot to me.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson, and congratulations to Abigail Vieira and Nikolai Blackman.
To bring greetings on behalf of the Minister of Sport and Community Development is Mrs. Beverly Reed Samuel, Acting Permanent Secretary.
Good evening. 2020 is a year that delivered a tidal wave of unprecedented changes across all sectors. Sport, as we know, almost came to a grinding halt. The Olympic Games was postponed until next year. Crucial training of athletes, as well as technical competency training for coaches and administrators, were disrupted. Billions of dollars in revenue were lost to COVID-19. We can choose to remember this year as an epic catastrophe or the year humanity rebelled with tremendous adaptability. Tournaments and championships worldwide went virtual, from the coveted NBA championships to Trinidad and Tobago's own groundbreaking Women's Virtual Basketball League. And let's not forget Trinidad and Tobago's successful hosting of the Caribbean Premier League, a prime cricketing event staged with all safety protocols in place. This evening's annual awards by the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee is that much more important this year. It is a statement that athletes competing in the Olympics, Youth Olympic Games, Central American and Caribbean Games, Pan American Games, Commonwealth Games and Youth Commonwealth Games have a strong support system amidst a crippling reality, a statement that the training and aspiration of every athlete matter, and that he or she need not continue a long sporting journey in isolation. We need to fuel our athletes with the right guidance, positivity, and encouragement as they head into uncharted territories next year. The pandemic will still be with us during the Olympics and other local and regional sporting competitions. All stakeholders, from the Ministry of Sport and Community Development to the TTOC, national governing bodies, coaches, and parents, need to collectively prepare athletes in a new age of sport. I can confidently state that the TTOC will do everything in its power to ensure athletes have the right conditions for success. This year, you, our athletes, dug deeper to find mental fortitude to continue training. You had to devise creative ways to keep fit. Reduced competitions may have rattled your focus. The economic repercussions of COVID-19 may have cut your sponsorship. Yet, despite these impediments, you remained resilient. You overcame these challenges, and having the right attitude is already half the work done for 2021. On behalf of the Ministry of Sport and Community Development and the wider government of Trinidad and Tobago, I extend sincerest congratulations to you. For next year, you will be flying our flag high, giving the rest of the country a much-needed boost in our spirits. The ministry will continue to work assiduously to construct new training facilities whilst refurbishing existing ones. Our new alignment with community development will see community sports and capacity building flourish, which translates into an expanded pool of sporting talent. This is our ministry's long-term vision to better harness talent at the community level. We are certain that the TTOC shares our vision and will collaborate with us on related endeavors. As I close, I congratulate all winners. Remember that with each award and medal, there is an increased expectation that athletes are to be exemplars in society. Please continue to attain new heights in your respective field, together with the NGBs, TTOC, and the ministry. We will take Trinidad and Tobago sport to an entirely new level. Thank you, and I wish you every success for the year 2021.
Thank you, Acting Permanent Secretary Mrs. Beverly Reed Samuel.
And now for the Sports Personality Award.
The Sports Personality of the Year award is for an individual whose contribution during the year was pivotal to the outstanding sporting achievement of an affiliate. This award does not rest on one achievement during the year, but acknowledges sustained outstanding activity.
We invite TTOC Vice President Dr. Terry Ali to present the Sports Personality of the Year award.
The 2020 Sports Personality is Aisha Chow, rowing.
Good evening, everyone, wherever you may be. Happy holidays. I want to thank TTOC. This has been a very strange and difficult year with the pandemic. Lives and families and jobs have been disrupted, and competition too. But in the mess of this year, I found things to be grateful for. My family and friends have stayed safe and healthy so far. I've been able to work and train somewhat normally. But like everyone else, I'm just counting down the days till the end of this global shutdown. Looking forward to seeing people I love in person once again. Looking forward to the resumption of competition and to the rescheduling of the rowing Olympic trials. And hopefully I will, after those trials, again, hopefully have the chance to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the Olympics once more. In any case, thank you again for this tremendous honor. Have a good evening. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Dr. Ali, and congratulations to Aisha Chow. Ladies and gentlemen, in the year that is coming to an end, there has been the stark reality of reports of persons losing their lives due to the pandemic. Our thoughts are with families everywhere who would have lost a loved one this year. And for the TTOC, We pause briefly now to remember those sporting personalities who have passed during 2020. Here's a short remembrance video. We remember them all and continue to keep them all in our prayers. It is now time for the feature address of the TTOC's 26th annual awards ceremony. He began his football career with Joe Public and played for W Connection before being selected for the Trinidad and Tobago team as a striker. He has played for Southampton, Stoke City and Sunderland. Please welcome former Trinidad and Tobago professional footballer Kenwin Jones.
Thank you. Season's greetings to all of you. I have to admit, when I accepted the invitation to be the feature speaker this evening, I was a bit apprehensive. Not about speaking to you athletes, but speaking about a topic that you already know of. Resilience. Resilience is something that is part of our daily lives. As athletes, we continue to show that resilience in every part of the day, in every part of our makeup. Our training regimes as athletes are second to none. Early mornings, late evenings, extra work, repetition after repetition. But we shine through anyways. We tend to, as human beings, look outside of our own selves for examples of being resilient. Countless disasters have hit the world at large over the years, and the citizens of the world have rebounded in tremendous fashion. But as athletes, we do face a niche set of challenges. Obstacles to a lot of people not known only to ourselves, our team, our coaches, that we have to face every day. You see, resilience is something that we're made of. First, we accept the circumstance, the obstacles, the hurdles to overcome, and it depends on how we bounce back, how we rebound from those setbacks, determine the type of characters that we are. I can explicitly remember myself as a young budding footballer trying to make the national team. I was cut a few times on various occasions, but the passion, the drive, the willingness to make it, to overcome, got me my spot on the national under-17 team in 2001. When I looked around, there were many other talented young men at that time around me. Being nervous about expressing myself, working hard, trying to attain that goal of making the team is something that bothered me. It ate away at my core because I didn't want to disappoint the people that were cheering me on. Coming from a line of footballers and athletes, I had a legacy to live up to. My uncle was part of the 1989 strike squad team, and we all know how that story went. But I think, in my estimation, the strike squad was the darlings of Trinidad and Tobago at the time, almost making it that close to the World Cup. So I had a huge legacy to fulfill, some huge shoes to walk in. But one of the core principles that I was raised with by my parents and grandparents, my family, is that working hard is the minimum requirement. Once you work hard, your talent will take care of itself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, working hard is something that we all know about. This is something that we do in our daily lives, or myself formerly used to do in my professional career. But this is something that we do in our daily lives. The days when you wake up at 4, 5, 6 a.m. to start your training regime is something that a lot of people are not around for, because we tend to take the weight of people's comments and opinions on our lives. But you, the athlete, your team, your coaches, maybe your parents, your family, some of your friends, they would know how hard you work. For every time that you have those 100s, 200s, those squats, push-ups, clean pulls to do, there is no one else around you but your coach, maybe your physio, and yourself. You see, when you get to that point where there is no one else to do the work but you, when you're facing that challenge of lifting those weights, of those repetitive sprints, there's no one else. Absolutely no one. It is just you, the equipment, the gym, your coach, that stopwatch, and maybe written on a piece of paper somewhere the amount of sets and repetitions that you have to do. But going out onto that track, it is just you, your mind, the track, and your own expectations. Because you see, people don't understand that the event, the championship event, the football match, the volleyball match, the competition is 10% of the work that you have to do. Your major work comes in your preparation. And in your preparation, there are obstacles. There's injury, setbacks. As we know, sometimes it's funding, not being able to qualify for a competition. Trying to outdo your colleague, your opponent, to be able to make it to any event. That preparation is what teaches us or shows us that resilience that we have. I can remember explicitly again, I was never the fastest. I was pretty fast, but I was never the fastest. According to our local parlance, I was never the most skillful, but I was skillful. And I had different attributes that you would attest to any footballer than the collective group, the norm that we are accustomed seeing. I was never labeled as the next Dwight York or the next Russell Latapy or the next Stern John. I was never labeled as that, which I took pride in. I was always myself, knowing that the goals that I wanted to achieve it would depend solely on luck. And when I say luck, I define luck as preparation meeting opportunity. Preparation is the thing that I was most in control of. The opportunity I would have to wait on. But I never wanted to be unprepared for any opportunity that I may get. And I can remember in 2002, myself and 2 other players went on a 2-week trial. 1 week at Manchester United and another week at Middlesbrough AFC. The first week at Manchester United was lovely. It was spring weather, a little bit cold, but we got to see some of the world stars, including our very own Mr. Dwight York. And just to name a few, you have Mr. David Beckham, Mr. Roy Keane, Mr. Van Nistelrooy, just to name a few. That week that we were there were glorious. We trained with everyone, saw these professionals work hard every day, their regime, so that they could come out on Saturday and give their best. We left after that week and went to Middlesbrough, and it was a totally different atmosphere. The professionalism, it remained. The work ethic, it remained. But the weather was absolutely out of this world. For 4 days straight, we trained in a dome where we had to wear a lot of warm weather gear. Now imagine for us as Caribbean kids, we're in an environment that is below freezing every single day. But we trained in the dome for 4 days straight. On the 5th day, the management staff decided to take us outside to train. The weather was horrendous. Now you can imagine, for those of you who train outside of these shores, snow, blistering snow, it's freezing, and we had to go outside to train. We had to put on all the warm weather gear available and a little extra because they knew that we were not from the country. And I know that the management staff did that to test our resilience. My other 2 colleagues decided, not today. Not today. I mean, if you want to test how cold it was, you should go lie down in a freezer for 5 minutes. And you'll get some sort of semblance of what the weather was like. But knowing the task at hand and the goal that I wanted to achieve, I looked to my 2 colleagues and said, you know what? I don't care. I am going outside. I went outside to train. I couldn't see. Snow falling like a hurricane. It was cold. I could only feel up to my knees. I didn't know how I was controlling the ball. I didn't know how I was running because I couldn't feel anything. But that moment led me to where I am today. After 14 and a half years in the top professional leagues in America, and mostly in England, I can say that today that my resilience shone through every moment. Now, as athletes, we tend to look for examples outside of ourselves. We look for inspiration, motivation from other people. But if it's one thing that 2020 has shown us, is to look within. Every day you get up to train, every obstacle that you overcome, every setback that you come back from, that shows your resilience. It is only tailored to you. Your story could never be his story. Thank you. Have a good night. And I wish you a bright and prosperous new year and continued success in all of your careers.
Thank you to Kenwin Jones, our feature speaker, for sharing such a meaningful perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, we now turn our attention to 2 senior sport awards.
The Sportswoman and Sportsman of the Year athletes should have excelled or have been the outstanding performers in an Olympic discipline. Where such activity is capable of being assessed by measurement or international or regional ranking, high achievement may be given greater weight than achievement of medals in competition.
It is my pleasure to invite Mr. Ephraim Serrett, TTOC Vice President, to present these two awards.
The 2020 Sportswoman of the Year is Tennille Campbell, cycling.
Hello Trinidad and Tobago, thank you TTOC for the award. I am very happy to be your Sportswoman of the Year for 2020. As you can see, I am currently in Girona, Spain, very far away from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm currently preparing for the 2021 season ahead with my team here in Girona, Spain. We are looking forward to the season. We continue to train hard and we hope for the best. Happy holidays and see you in 2021 at the Tokyo Olympics.
Congratulations to Tennille Campbell. And now for the Sportsman of the Year award. Once again, here's Mr. Ephraim Serrett, TTOC Vice President, to present the award.
The 2020 Sportsman of the Year is Dylan Carter, swimming.
Thank you TTOC, thank you Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you to my parents, my family and everybody else who supported me throughout this challenging year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all.
Thank you, Mr. Serrett, and congratulations to Tennille Campbell and Dylan Carter.
The Future is Female Award celebrates the leadership of an individual, team or organization, demonstrating outstanding commitment to the encouragement, development and motivation of women in sport. The award also draws attention to valuable contributions, showcasing women in a positive and progressive way, or being a spokesperson or advocate for the prominence of women in the sporting world.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Ms. Ria Richardson, member of the TTOC Executive and member of the TTOC's Women's Commission, to present the TTOC's Future is Female Award.
The 2020 Future is Female Award goes to Samantha Wallace, netball.
Compliment of the season. I just want to thank TTOC and Trinidad and Tobago for this great award. It was unexpected, but I'm really humble and blessed to represent my country. It's an honor and I'm really humble. Thank you very much, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, the TTOC is honored to receive greetings from Her Excellency, the President, who is the patron of the TTOC. Please welcome Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Good evening and season's greetings to members of the sporting fraternity and the national community. As patron of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, I am pleased to have this opportunity to congratulate the outstanding sportsmen and women being honored at this historic award ceremony, which is being held for the first time on a virtual platform. Olympians, present and future, sports professionals, members of the TTOC, and administrators, kudos to you. You have stayed the course and excelled during what has undoubtedly been one of the most challenging and disruptive periods in modern sporting history. COVID-19 reared its ugly head at the onset of the year and upset the pomsite cart for many of you and the entire sporting ecosystem. Long-held plans, dreams, aspirations and goals have had to be put on ice or reworked as the strictures of the pandemic hindered access to training facilities, denied sponsorship opportunities and overseas travel, and of course, KO'd major sporting events. And if there is such a thing as a crowning disappointment, the Olympic Games, the jewel of world sport, had to be postponed to 2021. The delays, cancellations, and all-round uncertainty have no doubt taken their toll on the physical and mental well-being of our athletes, who, having prepared long and hard for this year's games, were left in a quandary about the future of their craft. But the comfort, support and guidance they desperately need at this time reside within the halls of the TTOC, with its 6 decades of experience in inspiring excellence in the athletes of Trinidad and Tobago to enable them to realize their full potential. The TTOC has not only managed to keep pace with the shifting times, but also to surge ahead, often proving to be forward-thinking and innovative in its initiatives. Prophetically, it organized a virtual 5K last year as a creative means of raising much-needed funds. Its The Future is Female campaign promotes equal opportunity for women and girls at all levels of sport and is a welcome addition to the growing chorus of voices speaking out for greater gender equality in sport and other spheres. When we as a nation see our sportsmen and sportswomen on the world stage, we are seeing the final product. And while their performance is a testament to their drive and determination, much of the groundwork is laid by those that steward their development. From the glory days of Hazley Crawford and Atto Bolden to the more recent triumphs of Akeem Stewart and Kishon Walcott, the TTOC has played a critical role in selecting, training, and preparing our brightest stars for competition in the international arena. The TTOC has done well to assert itself as an advocate of development through sport, in keeping with the values of the Olympic movement. I am exceedingly proud of its efforts to support our athletes over the years, and more so now as they are at this critical juncture. It is said that circumstances are the rulers of the weak. They are but the instruments of the wise. Globally, sport has had to adapt to the challenges thrown up by COVID-19, and through technology, innovation, and sheer willpower, the hosting of some matches and events was made possible. In August, Trinidad and Tobago successfully hosted the 2020 Caribbean Premier League. Participants were rigorously tested and operated within a bubble, and although some players who failed to meet the strict travel requirements were omitted from their squads, the show carried on. Spectators were able to tune in from their homes and devices, and a vigorous marketing campaign on the part of the CPL earned an award for Best Use of Social Media from the International Sports Convention. As long as this flexible and creative approach is maintained, we can be boldly optimistic about the future and sustainability of global and local sport in a post-COVID world. I am sure that it has not escaped the attention of the members of the TTOC that Trinidad and Tobago was recently identified as an ideal market for sports tourism. Even in these early stages, it is no doubt exploring ways and means to capitalize on this anticipated thrust. This virtual awards ceremony comes at a fitting time, in a season of hope, joy, and peace. I encourage all our athletes to remain focused on their goals as we welcome the new year, using the disappointments and setbacks of 2020 as fuel for renewed zeal, energy, and spirit. The TTOC and the nation at large are your cheerleaders. We appreciate your efforts and celebrate your accomplishments. You are a source of immense national pride. To this evening's awardees, I extend heartiest congratulations. May your achievements be a source of gratification for you, even as they are a source of inspiration for others. The nation and I wish you the greatest success in the year ahead.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present our final group of awards.
The People's Choice Award affords the general public an opportunity to vote online for their national athlete.
Here is TTOC Vice President Dr. Terry Ali to present the TTOC's People's Choice Award.
The 2020 People's Choice Award goes to Abigail Vieira.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Abigail Vieira, and thank you to Dr. Terry Ali. Our final award for the night is the Alexander B. Chapman Award.
Alexander B. Chapman was a sporting icon who made an indelible contribution to sport in Trinidad and Tobago as a sportsman, coach, and administrator. Mr. Chapman served as Secretary General of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee from 1964 to 1989, and as Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee President from 1989 to 1997. He was a former national weightlifter and a former coach to a number of Trinidad and Tobago Olympians and was awarded the Hummingbird Medal Silver for his contribution to sport administration. Alexander Chapman is an honorary life member of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, honorary vice president of the Central American and Caribbean Sports Organization, and life vice president of the Commonwealth Games Federation. The Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee acknowledges Mr. Chapman's contribution to Olympism over 3 decades.
We invite TTOC President Brian Lewis to present the Alexander B. Chapman Award.
The Alexander B. Chapman Award is presented for outstanding contribution to sport and Olympism, particularly in the promotion of Olympic ideals. It recognizes achievements that epitomize the fundamental principles of Olympism as found in the Olympic Charter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Alexander B. Chapman Award goes to Nigel Grosvenor. Nigel Grosvenor is awarded posthumously, and his daughter Kia will accept the award.
Thank you, everyone. I am honored to accept this award on behalf of my late father. My family and I are grateful for the recognition of the hard work that he put into the sport of football in Trinidad and Tobago. I know that my father would have been very proud and very honored to receive this award. From his youthful days of being a national football player to achieving a bachelor's degree in physical education and subsequently becoming a legendary coach of many local football teams, my father's lifelong passion was sport. For over 35 years, he dedicated his time and efforts to advancing the sport of football as a coach and a mentor to countless men of the nation. For many young men, he transcended being a coach and a mentor to being a father figure as he made a valuable impact on their lives. As part of his immediate family, I saw this passion and dedication to the sport from a personal side. He would miss family events when they clashed with his matches. There were many times when players would show up to our house just to come to him for advice. And on many occasions, there were times when parents would call him to speak to their sons when they were misbehaving. He made a positive impact on many, so much so that upon his unfortunate death, he was deemed a legend by many people. On behalf of the Grosvenor family and all of our loved ones, we are very proud of what Nigel Grosvenor has earned and achieved, and we thank you all for honoring him and for his legacy tonight. May his legacy live on forever. Thank you.
Congratulations to Nigel Grosvenor, recognized posthumously, and we say thank you to the family of Mr. Alexander B. Chapman, and thank you, Mr. Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present each of the 2020 TTOC awardees. The Junior Sportswoman, Abigail Vieira. The Junior Sportsman, Nikolai Blackman. The Sports Personality, Aisha Chow. The Sportswoman of the Year, Tennille Campbell. The Sportsman of the Year, Dylan Carter. The Future is Female Awardee, Samantha Wallace. The People's Choice Awardee, Abigail Vieira. And the Alexander B. Chapman Awardee, Nigel Grosvenor. Congratulations to the winners of the 26th TTOC Awards ceremony. Thank you to Her Excellency, the President. We thank our sporting organizations, the TTOC executive and staff, and our special guest online, on radio, and on television for sharing in this momentous occasion. We wish you a safe and uplifting year ahead, and we bid you good night.